Hello there, welcome back to some more Vagrus adventures in this horrible but beautiful wasteland. I am currently here in Devon, and I admit that I am feeling a little uncertain about which way to go next. You see, I do have the outpost quest, which is what I should be pursuing. I do have the license. I just need to find the offices here in Devon and inquire about the outpost that I might be able to buy. Which also makes me curious if you are someone who knows this game better than I. If you could please tell me in the comments if this outpost is maybe randomly generated or the same every time. I would like to know. Anyway, we also have the golden theory going on. I currently need 2 more spectral residue, which is a big problem since I don't know which way to go to reliably hunt undead. If I was a betting man, I would say that the Dead Forest would be a nice place, or even the Forest of Shadows, since we are hunting ghosts. The problem with trying to look here is that I have absolutely no knowledge of the area, and in this game, going blindly is what kills you most of the time. Not to mention that it's actually really freaking far away. There is only one city here that I am currently aware of, and it's about a month of travel away. And I don't even know if I can hold that many supplies. So making a trip there is very risky. Not to mention that because I don't have anyone magical, I have to rely on the Ashkulite blessing to actually hit the ghosts. So if there is no temple here in Kabul, then going there would be pretty pointless. So I'd rather not risk it before I know what I'm actually getting into. There's also this quest where we need to go to Fort Larius to infiltrate whoever is in there. My guess is that it's the abolitionists, and we would actually have to start freeing slaves and be in direct opposition of the Sergorodites and maybe even the Ashkulites to gain their trust, which might sound just a tad bit dangerous. But that place is over here in the middle of nowhere, and I'm not sure how to feel about going here. But still, I do need to go somewhere. There is also the minor thing that I do want to get some more companions. I am missing a mage, and I don't like it, because this heat shielding crystal cannot be used at all until I have a mage. And I think I need to go to new places, maybe hunt down some rumors, so I can find new people. There is also a part of me that still hopes that if I stay in Devon for a while, Vrock might change his mind and join us for real. I wouldn't say no to another sneaky thief-type character. Okay, now we need to find the offices here. Where would they be? Possibly here in the offices of the Legate. I don't even remember if I have checked this place before. It's been a little while since the last episode. Let's see then. The Gardens is home to many of the less militaristic city institutions. A large marble compound to the south end of the district houses government offices, with the coveted top floor offices overlooking the hanging gardens across the cavern. They say that Legate Audron Akanis runs the city from this compound, through an army of bureaucrats and clerks. If you have to deal with the law, you have come to the right place. Very well. Okay, we're not criminals. I don't think I want to take on bounties. Purchase a license that allows for a larger armed force. Again, not trying to be the fighting type of Vagrus. Let's check on the wind situation. It has to resolve at some point, and that would allow us to continue into the wider world. Okay, looks like nothing changed here. Okay, but I do have a license. I really hope you don't want me to pay again. Okay. The city's Officium Factum Bureau lacks any distinctive features on the outside, as well as the inside. From its great hall, side passages open into smaller vaults where individual cases can be administered. One such chamber is the office where you can apply for buying some land. You consider your next step. Okay, and the only one available for us is the Salt Extraction Strip, which is a place that we have already visited once before. And with the amount of workers that I brought, it wasn't all that profitable, but maybe the outpost is a different beast altogether. The clerk tells you that it is going to cost 2,000 bros minus the 200 you have already paid as a deposit. The 50 you paid for administration is good and gone. Well, that's a whole lot of money. But that's far from all, the administrator states. You have to present 3,000 bros at least, and we shall still need someone of serious influence to back you up. A sponsor, if you will. If it's someone of high enough stature, it might even lower the price. We simply must know that this trip will not be wasted, and something good comes out of it for the glory of the Empire. Okay, let's see what the options are. Holy shit, we need 5,000 and 15 renown. To go without a sponsor. I think I'm currently sitting at 0 renown still. I don't know how long 15 is gonna take. This option will cost you 1800 bros, but you need a lot more as collateral. Okay, so that explains the 5000. Okay, with 3005 reputation with a trading house, and that would only cost us 1400. Okay, and if we are in with the Church of Ashkul, interesting. So for some reason it is separate, but the cost is still the same. But the Sergorodites are a little less generous about it. Alright. Well, that is what some people call a shit ton of money. I was happy to make 250. This much is very much out of my depth here. Okay, now what do I do? Let's do a daily explore. Nomadic wanderers from the forlorn waste gather on a square in the Hinder Caves, huddle together around small fires in the shattered tents put up next to the decrepit building walls. Here in the twilight of Devon, close to home yet so far away, the Ashmen whisper of the north and what lies beyond the waste. Okay, let's ask them for news. You join one of the families and talk news. They are quite forthcoming and tell you all they know about the quarrels of Ashmen tribes and the movements of the great Ashkuru herds. You are also told about the rage of Kalaruk that struck the endless grey wastes, and so now many families and tribes flee their ashen desert. An old woman approaches you. Hundreds of small bones and shells are tied to her ragged travel clothes, dangling on leather strips, making a soft noise as she walks. Despite her age, her eyes have a curious glint, and she appears tough as nails. For some coin, I can tell you news of the north worthy of the attention of a Vagrus. Okay, you're asking for 3 changers. That's doable. She pockets the money and sits down, cross-legged, in front of you. She tells you of their journey from the great city of Thoth, mightiest of the empire's ports in the north, then speaks of merchant trends, local politics, criminal activities, and the renewing war against the Green Continent. She goes on to talk about their long crossing of the forlorn waste, meeting other tribes and visiting Dustwind Outpost, before turning south towards the Shatter before fleeing from the constant ash storms that started to plague the wastes. There is a lot here that you can relate to locals and others during your travels. Okay, so the forlorn waste is here. And there was talk about an outpost. And that didn't seem to put it on the map, unfortunately. Maybe someday. Oh, here we go. Some news. That's worth a little bit. Seven changers to be exact. Okay, the gardens had nothing for me really. And I have already visited the temple ward. we still have some blessings going on. 5 days for the blessing of unbinding, which is the one we're going to need if we want to fight undead. And I seem to vaguely remember that we can stack that one. Let's see if I remember right. Okay, let's ask for a greater blessing. No, this is the one I want. Blessing of Unbinding. So if I remember right, those 12 days should be added. Oh, no, I didn't remember right. It just renewed it. No matter. So I can now possibly find some undead to fight in the vicinity. I might check out the Valley of Sleepers. That kind of sounds like a sufficiently undead-themed name. Okay, what do I have in the Shadow Bazaar here? Let's fish for some rumors. Nothing here. Don't need anything here. Well, alright then. Any passengers? There is a pair. Back to Torzag's. That's about 10 days away. Okay, any missions I can take. There's one for Torzag. And another. Okay, there's only 2 currently. You know what I haven't done? I haven't actually checked in with my companions. I do know that I need to do their quests if I want to upgrade them above a certain point. And I'm currently doing Harvex's mission. Well, technically he's the one doing it himself. I'm just letting him. And the guy still creeps me out, so I'm just letting him do what he wants. But I kinda do want to know more about Vorax and Renkailon. So let's go in order of seniority. I think I can only talk to them when I'm camping, so for that we need to leave. And how about, just for now, I don't take anything. And just do a little exploration. So a little ways down, maybe. And to the east? Okay, we're having the wind again. We lost a scout. Yeah, that's going to keep being a problem for a while. Okay, now, let's see. Let's talk to you. You find Renkailon amongst the other scouts, albeit a bit apart from them. He is not taking part in their evening chit-chat. The dark elf sits with his back against the sack, fondling a skin of mushroom beer, taking ponderous sips from it, while his one visible eye, the other hidden under his cowl along with the left side of his face, surveys the camp icily. Upon seeing your approach, he raises his beer to a toast. "Good to see you, Vagrus. Good indeed," he says with a thin smile. "Care to join me for a drink?" Okay. Since we're a dark elf too, let's maybe try to find some common ground. Oh yes, our shared lineage has not escaped my attention, it has not. Ren smiles faintly before continuing. But as I've been known to say, dark elves are varied, no two alike. Us, you and I, are also not alike. But I do confess that us being dark elves does make me lean more towards putting my trust in you, Vagrus. Okay, that's a good thing. You end up swapping tales and past experiences regarding your kin. Then although Renkailon reveals much less than you do, you have a feeling that you have managed to open him up a little. Get a bit of insight out of it. Okay, and because we know about dark elves already, we know that they come from the Everdark. Let's ask him about that. Everdark is the colloquial name given to the lands beneath the continent of Zerin. It is a vast dark realm that is practically unknown to surface dwellers. Is there anything you are curious about in particular? Something tells you that Renkailon does not want to discuss the subject in too much detail. Well, alright then. Oh hey, and I'm just noticing it now. Something changed about the winds? There is a voice carried by the wind, the voice of a woman in pain. Perhaps others might know something about this. I have a feeling that has been going already, but apparently not if the game sees fit to show you that it changed. Okay, let's not beat around the bush. Ask about his past. Oh well, Renkailon says absent-mindedly. What is there to tell? I have traveled to most places on the continent a sensible person would and can travel to. Went as far as the Red Desert in the south and the Land of Endless Rain in the north. And of course, I saw things underneath it all you wouldn't believe. I had the luck of working for several renowned Vagri. Calvor the Sable, Seketma, Ramuna Bassi, you may have heard of them. You ask him why a dark elf prefers the surface instead of the many underground realms of his people. Ah, that. I have seen a lot of Everdark already. I'm older than I look. He smiles absent-mindedly. At any rate, there's so much to see here. Why would I want to? Ren's voice fades away. There is a moment of pause. But of course, I would be dishonest if I did not tell you how I am not very keen on coming across my people. We just don't like each other too much, so there's that. Okay, you, sir, are a tough nut to crack. Maybe some gifts would loosen him up. But I don't know what you would like. Okay, we already do know about his skills. Okay, what's your take on Vorax? Are you gonna be able to get along? Ah yes, Vorax. The scout clears his throat. Everyone likes him here. Mostly everyone. I have no issues with him really, no issues at all. That said, I prefer to stay away from crowds and see, crowds, well, they tend to form around a good cook. But I recognize talent and kindness when I see it, and he displays both in good measure. Both are much appreciated. Alright, so these two are good for working together. That's probably as good as I can hope. So how about you, Vorax? You find Vorax in his kitchen tent, poring over his ingredients while he is stirring something in a large cauldron. The delightful scent of the food is tinged with the strange odor of the undead chef. That's probably all the preservatives. Ho ho, boss, how can I be useful? Okay, you have something you want to talk to me about. What is it? Oh yeah, there's something I wanted to chat about, boss, the undead cook says, and once you tell him you are listening, he sucks in air and begins his speech. There's this fellow, a rich shithead really, called Davris Marius Paulus. An aristocrat, you know. His family, the Pauli, are great supporters of the Empire and have a storied past, whatever. Davris, however, is a different matter. See, the fellow is young. He's also an adherent of Balur Kal, and he's known to have a thing for exotic food. In fact, people from all over the realms, and even beyond, have been known to visit him to win his favor by cooking him splendid meals. Davris Paulus, the clever bastard, figured several years ago that he could get even more free meals of the highest quality if he promotes the whole rumor, and so he issued a challenge to all cooks and chefs. The one who can impress him with a truly sublime meal will be granted a wish in his power. But with his money and extensive experiences, my esteemed colleagues have been trying to meet this challenge in vain. Paulus has already tasted everything there is to taste. You tell Vorax that you expect him to take on this challenge. Oh, what gave it away? He asks, then bursts out laughing. Sure, I want to be the best of the best, he tells you after calming down. And I have a plan, you see. A meal that will most certainly impress young Paulus. The catch is, I need some very rare ingredients, and I would need your help in acquiring them. But the good news is, if we succeed, Paulus's favor will surely be extended to you too. And having such a guy back you up is not to be scoffed at, eh? So what do you say, boss? Are you up for the challenge? Will you help me gathering what I need for the meal? Sure, I mean, it's probably just hunting some exotic animals or something. How hard can that be? Oh boy, that's great, Vorax exclaims. We'll embark on a great culinary quest, you and I. There's quite a few things to acquire, but I'll deal with the smaller and simpler stuff. The 4 big things I'll need are the meat, mushrooms, the spice, and the booze. All of these are rare and very special, so it won't be easy. You ask him to be more specific, to which he nods hastily. Sure. Let's begin with the meat. Or, well, should I say, the stomach. Vorax guffaws at your expression. Jagra stomach from a huge specimen. The trick is to have the creature eat divine ichor and hunt it down only after it has digested that crab. I have an old acquaintance by the name of Vorax, a Bandul huntsman, the strong quiet type. Last time I heard, he was living with the Aitrar tribe out west. We should visit him there, because I'm sure he'll help us out. And don't worry about the divine ichor, I already have it. You take a note and ask about the other things. The booze is easy. A bottle of Empiriana for the sauce. My bodyguard, the bartender of the Copper Pugio in Devon, will have one. Then we've got the mushrooms, a rare strain called amber shroom. I suppose that if we're already visiting Devon for the wine, we should ask around at the Hanging Gardens. If anyone, the botanists will know how to get amber shroom. That's mighty convenient. Half the stuff is in one place. Vorax falls silent, so you remind him of the spice. Oh, yeah. For that, I'll need some good old spices. Quite a lot, actually. Don't ask, it's a tedious process that involves filtering and mixing. But I also need rare ingredients to add to the blend. Orange bell, Tarkian mugwort, and red grass. Not sure where to find them, but we can talk about them later. And that's all. It's quite a lot, I know. There's no rush though. I don't think anyone's gonna beat me to the challenge. Can't wait to find them and get cooking. Vorax seems very excited by the prospects. Okay, so from the sound of it, he wants to make some sort of haggis. Quite the bold move. Okay, we can discuss all of these steps one by one. Maybe later. Okay, and what's your opinion on Renkailon? Keeps to himself mostly, so we rarely interact, you know? I respect that, so I try not to push. Though from the confounded look on his face whenever I do talk to him, I get the feeling that I'm not very successful. The undead chef laughs heartily. Okay, so you have no beef with him either. That's good. Okay, what exactly counts as a gift? Okay, we can give him extra rations or alchemical tools. Interesting. Let's not do that right now. All right. It is said that the Valley of Sleepers changes with every day, that the tombs are never the same on 2 consequent visits, making scavengers feel that they have to start all over again. Wow, look at this place. So this whole valley is an ancient burial ground, okay. And I can't even look through this part. I wonder why. Night sneaks up on the Valley of Sleepers until the heavy shadows settle on the ancient rocks all around you, and the sky turns purple, then the color of ink. Everything is eerily quiet. The Comitatus could not make its way out of the valley before dusk. A weighty, numbing fatigue began to take hold of your comets about an hour ago, and now they move sluggishly while their eyes keep falling shut. Some have already fallen asleep, lying down among the rocks, oblivious to the cause of their half-awake comrades. You are barely aware of the pale blue translucent flames that start to appear on the frontages of tombs. It is only when a ghostly whispering reaches your ears when you suddenly realize that something is terribly wrong. Let me guess. Ghost ambush? Okay, looks like using resourcefulness here doesn't help my chances significantly. But still, I would rather do that. Fail the test. Fight it as you might, you cannot stay awake. Just a couple of more steps, and you feel your mind giving up. You go down to your knees, then all fours, then on your belly. But even as you lie there on the cooling stones, feeling the heavy pull of this unnatural slumber, you can see the first specters emerging from the tombs, circling above your sleep-struck comitatus, waiting patiently for the moment when the curse of the valley finally overtakes you. They do not have to wait much longer. Huh. Well, that was a quick end. I certainly did not expect that. So what this tells me is that I shouldn't be in here. When the sun goes down. Oh, and this is actually more than just a landmark. There is a temple in here somewhere. Alright then. Let's try this again. Maybe camp right outside. And go in a little more. Oh wow, critical success. Both. That got me 2 whole days worth of supplies. But still, don't want to overstay my welcome here. Oh, I see. Looks like I need enough movement to actually do something here. Let's look for a tomb to rob. Sure, why not? You find a promising tomb. The huge, intricately carved arched gateway leading into the mute darkness might be a good sign, but you know that there could be untold riches inside as much as mere junk. Okay, let's get a team together and enter the tomb. Accompanied by your companions, you explore the dry, dark corridors and chambers of the tomb. What awaits you ahead? The chamber you enter is a dead end. You are just about to turn back, but it becomes unnaturally cold in a matter of seconds. The next moment, a pack of specters bursts out of the walls of the corridor, falling upon your companions with otherworldly rage. Because of the positioning, only a handful of your comrades can fight in this. Okay. And here's the fight I was hoping for. But what the fuck is this one? They are actually all perfectly identical. Well, that's a bit of a letdown. I was hoping for some variety over here. Well, not that it's not going to be a slog. If the last fight was any indication. took a while. The specters have vanished into thin air. Are they destroyed? Probably. They left behind some strange porous residue that would indicate so. Gather as much as you can and move on. +2 spectral residue. That is just perfect. The group makes it back to the valley. For better or worse, delving into the tomb is now over. Okay. Let's observe the loot. Oh, we actually got some stuff here. You load the valuables into your cargo hold, thinking all the while if you have to worry about the curse of the valley. Can you feel anything strange? It is at that moment that you begin to feel it. A branching, heavy, sinking feeling inside your chest. Soon you will hear them whisper and even see them at night, waiting at the edge of fires, looking through windows, haunting you and your commerce with their hollow gaze. The curse has taken hold. You will have to do something about it. And with that, your tomb raiding is concluded for now. You gain Curse of Spirits. Okay, if that means... Okay, where can I see what I have? Because if that curse means that I would frequently get attacked by spirits, that it might even be desirable in certain ways. Well, it doesn't seem like a quality I can check for whatever reason. Okay, let's just get out of here. Alright, and we are back in Devon. That was actually a fairly productive outing. And now I also know one place to potentially farm ghosts, which however comes with its own problems. So let's get them to remove this curse. Which takes a little bit of coin. After a short ritual that involves a lot of chanting, painting your face white, and lying on a stone slab, you rise anew, free of the curse. Alright then. How many med supplies I have? 7? Okay, that's gonna be good for a while. Seek healing for a more serious ailment. I wonder what this would be. Disease and sickness are serious matters, but the infirmary can rid you of all but the most deadly ailments. For a price. It may also take a long time to heal and cost you a fortune, but you may not have another choice. Okay, so we can just outright heal a companion. Probably so we don't have to wait. Okay. Heal your wounded crew instantly. Heal the black rot. Water poisoning. Dysentery, basically. Mosquito infection, mushroom rot, social disease. Oh my god, there's a whole lot of stuff I never even seen yet. Just how big is this game, really? Okay, healing one companion actually only costs some lirg. which isn't all that bad. Okay, does this heal fully? Let's go check. No, not fully. But as low as he was, I would say about 8 or 10 vitality. That's pretty okay. Let's do a daily explore. We got some wraiths here. Let's just let them rob me. Don't want to deal with them. Okay, since we're here, as a final action for today, let's check the gardens. Inquire about stuff for Vorax. Okay, ask the botanists whether or not they keep some Varan's bell. Unfortunately, the botanists here do not have Varan's bell, nor any seeds that they could grow a plant from. It appears that due to the difficulty of cultivating it in these parts, not even the herbalists in these gardens are willing to bother planting it. They think that perhaps individual specialists around Terra Supra might have some, though you will more likely find it down south, as it prefers cold mountainsides. Okay, so there is one direction that the quest takes us. Okay, what about ambush rooms? You and Vorax talk to the botanists about the ambush room strain and ask them if they have some you could purchase or trade. They tell you that they do not have the mushroom anywhere in the Hanging Gardens, but they have the right spores and the means to grow them, including the magic required to sustain this rare strain. In return for a small donation, they would be willing to set up a space and begin growing the mushrooms. According to the senior botanist, it will take over 2 months for the crop to reach the size and maturity Vorax is looking for. All this after several generations of magic-induced propagation. Okay, how much? 66 bros. Well, that's a steep price. I think I'm gonna hold off on that for a while now. We can buy some wraith grass here. I do wonder if it's contraband. That might be a little bit of a problem. But let's see. From the garden of a prince, the wraith mutters as he shows you the grass-like plant, neatly cut, still emitting a pale glow. Okay, 9 bros, that's doable. And it's not contraband. Good enough. The shifty-eyed wraith peddler pockets your coins, and you get what you paid for. You do not take that for granted. Yeah, let's get the hell out of here. And someone pickpocketed us. That's the price you pay. Okay then. I do have the residue. So, next time I'm gonna buy some copper. And get back to Lumen. See what the next leg of the quest is gonna be about. So, I am gonna see you there. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy my bumbling around, then please consider giving the video a like. And as always, I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, safe travels, Vagrus.